Great to see you, and I'll give you some introduction to what Intermedia Studies is here at the UAP. So let's start with the presentation maybe. This is Intermedia. What it means, it's actually studies in contemporary art and quite interdisciplinary approach. We're actually seeking to know how to navigate within the contemporary art world nowadays. So if you want to become artist and you really want to live of being an artist, it's a difficult task nowadays in this quite complicated world. So we also provide education in general culture making field because not everyone will become artists who works with art galleries and artwork. Some people will also find some other jobs. So we're very much curious about how different positions nowadays in the art world are somehow designed. And we try to research, we give a lot of theory and practice to what it means and how to prepare our students to become artists. So we visit galleries, we have lots of partnerships with museums, with different institutions, festivals, but we also teach how to DIY, so how to do it yourself as an artist and how to create the world that is also based with lots of ideas that has not yet been defined by institutions. We also have a very specific option in filmmaking and art film, and we also teach how to distribute your films. So we are very much supporting this process and talking about how to become artists and how to live and how to navigate and how to work within the art world. We're really talking a lot about art displays, how to design exhibitions, how to create art events, how to bring your audience. So we have lots of study visits and networking. That is the base of our approach. We have an autonomous building, one of the buildings of the UAP, together with the library, and we create certain headquarters there, but we quite often work outdoor, not only in the building. So Intermedia is not only about the classes, about the program, but how you really navigate within the art world. That is not only in the city of Poznań, but in Poland and worldwide. I prepared some links that I will share with you here on the chat. I think it could be helpful. So here are the links. And there's some Instagram, Facebook, and cargo site examples of some exhibitions we recently worked on. So all these sources could be really helpful in finding some more information, especially the visual information, some examples, and some highlights of how we work and what we do. We dispose the headquarter building with some spaces that are arranged or sometimes rearranged, redesigned for exhibitions, for different purposes, for settings. It's quite often a very vibrant place. We also have a DIY cinema room that our teachers and artists and professionals and performers and filmmakers meet and decide the program, because the program is actually redesigned every time. It's quite important while you study contemporary art to know what happens day by day. So we try to create a certain ambience or environment with people, international teams. We work with partners from outside, like Millennium Dogs Against Gravity Festival that operates a cinema program within our department. Also, we have some student-based ideas of film programs that are screened in the cinema. And we also collaborate with Poznań-based short film festival called Short Waves, where we have guests and professionals who help students indeed to navigate with the issues of film distribution, how to produce your film, how to prepare for the real world, not just things that we do at school, but what is actually outside, what awaits you. So we have lots of meetings, like recently, last year we did very interesting sort of series of meetings where students could have really met people from all around the world who are actually working with cinema, and they were great discussions, and we created sort of really interesting ambience. We have some examples here. We have some graduates and alumni that could be interesting to see their works, but I won't share each of these links now. maybe when we have some more individual time, when you consult your portfolio with me, I'll come back to this. Intermedia in general is everything that, from the definition of what it is, what it is actually also located in these circles of question marks in this theory of intermedia. Because some things in contemporary art we can name and some we don't. And we're also interested in these new forms. So it's different mediums and different expressions of art through different ways and what comes to your mind. We have two options, as I mentioned before. One is intermedia equals to contemporary art in context of society, and how to navigate with art display, how to create exhibitions, and how to create events, and how to do some programs and projects. And also we believe there's a variety of art worlds. There's no one art world. So it's important in which of these art worlds you want to really work after you graduate school. And the other option is very specified. It's experimental film and cinema education. It's production of films, short films mostly, art films, and film is treated there as a tool for art. And we also talk a lot about film distribution. So the first option will be intermedia in general, how to make art events again, exhibitions, how to make your portfolio, how to go visible, how to travel the world, and how to do interdisciplinary approach based on research of your project, and how to then choose and really work with specific tools, and how to make it public. So it's a little bit like designing the art context of nowadays and designing your role in it, I would say. So there's a lot of study visits indeed, there's lots of distribution talks in it. And the other experimental film option that we also operate since a few years, it's how to experiment with the film form, how to create short cinema, mostly art cinema, how to make documentary features, animated features, how to talk about video installations, or something that was called once augmented cinema, how to really produce your film, from writing scripts through film direction, cinematography, video edition, production, set design, how to make critique of your art, and how to then show it to the public. So our teachers are somehow dedicated to these two options, and they are artists, visual artists, those who really work with the art world, with institutions, with galleries, with different social art projects, with art activism. There's a gallery director in our team at Intermedia option, and there are curators and performers. And in the film option, there are teachers who really deal with filmmaking, both from documentary, cinematography, art film, and also animated film. And there are people who really run classes from film direction. And this is us in a very specific way. Maybe I should not show everything that's on the table, so I'll move forward. But we do talk a lot about changing reality of the art world and how we need to navigate, and what knowledge that is actual knowledge we should give to our students. We organize a lot of workshops that are, as I mentioned before, quite outdoor. There are also different occasions and contexts in which we work. Like this is a pavilion designed nearby the public library, nearby the uni last year, where students organized a lot of events and talks, and organized some visits for public. There's also a lot of traditions of going out when the weather is good and to have discussions in different locations and places. We rent from the city of Poznań. That's quite unique in Poznań. You can rent some places that are abandoned or empty for temporary galleries and situations. That's quite often what we use. And there are actually exhibitions and events in many, many different locations, but we also work with quite professional art spaces. Like this is a Scala gallery interior that operates every year with some exhibitions of our students and guest teachers. This is the museum in Poznań called simply National Museum of Poznań, in which we also organize an exhibition. So it's like a huge, I would say, partner, large partner. There are also some places in which we work on performative exhibitions, events with the works of our students and with big audience, because for us it's important that art is shown. It's not only shown on the walls inside the uni, but it's shown to the public. This is, I think, what our university does as the main thing, that we need to distribute art that you, as our students, create. So lots of different mediums, performances, as you see, installations, and different activities are considered this what interests us the most, and how to also make audience bigger, how to use art as a tool for communication. This is, for example, an interesting, I think, diploma work of our student who literally designed some elements in the bouldery place, actually in a sport gym club, but also designed an application and video film. And that was very, very unique combination of art approach research, practice-based, and very much dedicated towards different audiences. This is another diploma that you can see in a gallery that was about time. And a lot of these images here show how we create certain social ambience that for us at Intermedia department is extremely important, that you actually feel comfortable while studying and you become sort of part of the family environment almost. We also have lots of partnerships, and I think that's important to acknowledge as well. This is quite international ambience with many workshops that happened in different locations where you can practice and also meet people. And we find ourselves in different landscapes, as you see a lot. We also collaborate with different partners in some universities that our friends work at, and also we use the exchanges that university offers. So all these images show specific sort of condition in which I believe it's really worth to ask yourself, what does it mean nowadays to become an artist or culture maker? What exactly would you like to do after you graduate from school? As we quite often operate with lots of portfolio reviews and study visits. And we indeed try to show art in different contexts. We also collaborate with some partners in Poznań city, like the Castle Center, where you organize some rooms for private views of art shows, but also exhibitions and guided tours. So we quite often try again to make the audience as big as possible. And also for those of people who create art audience that are not that familiar with everything that art brings nowadays, we create lots of very close contact relationships, in which I believe it's interesting to also get to know what art nowadays can be. So all these things, designing exhibitions, events, they serve a certain wider image of what art can be now and how we can create certain things like that stays within the people, right? That it's not just for some temporary use, but is also something that questions the world nowadays. So a lot of examples. I should not probably go to details with each of them. As you see, there are very, very different forms, from sculpture through performances, video displays, and different exhibitions indeed. That was a very unique exhibition of our graduates who are actually painters, but who decided to combine painting with filmmaking, and they showed some video installation about the perfumes they created one day. So it was actually a very interesting exhibition that was very interdisciplinary example, and that what actually Intermedia is. That's an example from Polish dance theater, where we created a spectacle based in designing an exhibition that serves also some later screenings and activating audience to become a playful part of this whole enterprise. We also work with locations and with groups of people that are not like literally connected to the school yet. This is a collaboration we started with the UP, a university in Indonesia, during the pandemic, and it still continues. So I think what I'm trying to say is that at Intermedia you create this ambience together with us, and you try to answer yourself a question where you want to go next and how you see yourself in the future as artist or culture maker. It's probably important that I also say just a few words to make a sum up what you need to present in your portfolio while you try to apply to Intermedia. We really seek to know who you are, so it will be very important for us that your portfolio is not only the samples of your work, but it's also some really updated information of what are you doing, what are you interested in, we believe actually that school, the uni, the UAP is to learn, and that's why it's important for us that you rather show us ideas and not the works only in the matter of what you can do, but it's also important how you think. So as I wrote down here, please show us all process that you're working on, not just its results. You can obviously add, that's important and obligatory, add samples of your work, but also please try to answer the question, how do you imagine yourself making art and for who that art would be? So if someone is interested in Intermedia, you can try to copy this. And actually for the portfolio reviews and information that could be useful now, I meet people online on Wednesdays in the afternoons and Thursdays from noon to 2 p.m. So you can write us in advance to my email address and we can meet up online and we can discuss your preparation for the portfolio and further on some more information on the Intermedia program will be given. Thanks a lot.